Happy Taylor Swift Day
To all who celebrate.
to all who celebrate. We made it, Adrian. How are you feeling? Let me ask you that. How are you feeling?
Heartbroken, depressed, laid out, sobbing. Also good. I feel like I've just exited a relationship, but I'm also in actuality in a healthy, functioning relationship. So duality, the experience of a Taylor Swift album.
I identify with all of that. I've had a few days to sit with this album, a few days to process. I've made a lot of content about it already, both parts 1 and 2. And so, I have had just a myriad of feelings about this album. And I'm excited to talk about it with you because so far I've just been talking to myself and to my phone and to my laptop. So
I love that I am the upgrade from your phone. Like,
yes,
iPhone 15 ain't got nothing on me, babe.
Hello and welcome to Two Queens, Two Crowns. I'm your host, KJ Miller, founder, lecturer, and content creator.
And I'm Adrienne Rose White, actor, writer, and teacher of how to actually sell a TV show organically.
And tonight we are talking about what else? The Tortured Poets Department. And what do you know? It's a double album.
I actually didn't know it was a double album until this very call when you told me. So as with every episode, I'm learning so much about pop culture.
The fact that 4 days out, the news of it being a double album still had not penetrated the fortress that you must live in, Adrian, is amazing. Literally, you started the call by being like, somebody said something about 31 tracks, but I only see 16 tracks.
I saw that and I thought I could research more. I could like, I'm a grown woman with a career in entertainment. I could figure this out. And then I thought, you know what? I come to this podcast to learn. Let me walk in. Exactly. Were it not for you, KJ, I would not have even listened to this album yet. It would have taken me 3 more weeks to hear from like 8 different friends and to have heard like several singles on the radio before I did it. So I'm already ahead of my curve. Like, this is victory for me.
This is, and I'm happy for you. And look, the fact that she up and decided to drop 15 additional tracks, it took us all by surprise. Now, well, when I say it took us all by surprise, I mean, most of us, there were some Swifties who had been predicting for months that it was going to be a double album. And I just didn't believe them. I was like, y'all are wild. And turns out they were correct. So
how did they know?
So because she had been holding up the number 2 and putting the number 2s in various captions in various places. And I just sort of was like, 2 is a common number. So like,
could mean anything.
Because they were like, when she accepted her Grammy and announced this album, she said something to the effect of, I've been working on this album for 2 years, and held up a 2 when she said it. And that's when people started being like, oh my God, what does that mean? Why did she hold up her 2 like that? And I was like, because she said 2 years. What do you mean? Why did she? And they were like, no, it means something. It means something because she looked kind of weird when she held it up. And I was just like, see, y'all know this woman way better than I do, because nothing about it was suspicious to me. I did not think it looked suspicious at all. And then when she, like, at some point she was like, 22 hours left to pre-order your whatever copy. And people were like, see, all the 2s are everywhere. There's 2 here, 2 here. And I just was like, okay, y'all got it. And turns out they did get it. They got it. Mm-hmm.
What if, like, was anyone guessing that the 2s meant something else? Like, was anyone like, she is in a double wide trailer? I don't know.
So for a while before we got Cowboy Carter, people thought she was saying she was going to be on Act 2, because a lot of us thought we might get a Taylor and Beyonce collab. So for a while, we thought, oh, the two, maybe she's talking about Act Two for Cowboy Carter, but she wasn't. So then they went back to the original theory of a double album.
Got it. I do hope Taylor and Beyonce are listening to our podcast and like hear our vote of support for a collab between the two of them. So
Me
we're
too.
just planting that seed. Beyonce,
Yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah. We haven't given up hope for a Beyonce Taylor collab, so it could still happen. Yeah, but we got a double album, and there's so much to talk about. Similar to with Cowboy Carter, I thought it would be fun to have a conversation about our favorites, but because you haven't listened to all 31 tracks.
That's true. That's factually accurate.
I thought maybe I would give my top 5 and you could give your top 3.
That's fair. My only question is, in a future episode, may I reserve the right to share 2 more as I listen to more of the album?
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Okay. So like 1 year from now, from today, I will be like, remember that album 2 albums ago? Because you know she gonna drop more. I'll be like, I have 2 songs
I'm now
to
ready.
add.
Yeah.
I've joined. That's why I'm holding up these 2 figures for the 2 songs I will add to this conversation.
And I will be ready, and I will be excited when you're ready to announce your next 2 favorite songs. Now, before we get into it, I do just want to ask you. Now, obviously, you hadn't found your way to the double album, so this might be a long shot. But have you heard any of the discourse that's been happening around this album, around perhaps any lyrics or perhaps any of the love interests it may or may not be about? Like, how much of the discourse have you been participating in?
I've participated in none. I have observed a little bit. So what I've observed is this album is about Maddie Healy, according to most. I heard someone say that Travis got 1 song on here. So like I'm looking forward. I may have already heard that song, but I don't think so. There's a version where I guess it could be but Daddy, I Love Him. But that seems odd. I feel like her dad liked him straight. I mean, I don't know how her dad feels about him, but it seems like unlikely that it caused great discord in her home life. At the last thing I heard was that there was a lyric about her being pregnant. I listened to that song, and that some people, the first time they listened, they were like, "Oh, reveal!" And then she was like, "No, just kidding, I'm not in the song." And I was, so I heard that some people recorded themselves reacting to that. So I haven't seen any of those videos, but I would like to.
Got it. Okay. All right. Yes, you've heard some of the, I would say, more pervasive gossip around this album. The Maddie Healy of it all has certainly been a big talking point. And I actually spoke about this at length in my YouTube review, how I want to say the fact that it's so much about him, but I guess we can't call it a fact. It is still speculation. But I will say a number of Swifties have done a lot of like receipt hunting down and looking at the lyrics and comparing them to the timeline of their relationship and the places they went and the things that they said in their past songs about each other and the outfits they wore and blah, 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 blah. And if you watch any of those videos, it does seem pretty clear that at least multiple songs on the album are about him. I think there are multiple songs that aren't about him, but it seems pretty clear, including you mentioned, But Daddy, I Love Him. We think that one either is definitely about him or definitely is about him, along with maybe an amalgamation of a few other folks. So the Maddie Healy of it all has been a bit tough, because I don't know if you remember the controversy surrounding Maddie Healy.
What? No. What was the controversy?
Oh,
you don't. You also don't have to. If that's not what this podcast is about, you don't have to.
No,
tell me.
I want you to know sort of some of my thoughts, because, like I said, I've only been able to talk to my phone about this. So the Maddie Healy of it all is that when it came out that they were dating, around that same time, a number of the problematic things that he has said in the past were brought to light.
Wait. Pause. Is Maddie Healy the guy she dated after the long-term guy, or is Maddie Healy the long-term? Oh, what's the long-term guy's name?
His name is Joe Alwyn.
So this album is not about Joe, it's about Maddie Healy?
So that has been the rub. We think it definitely appears to be about both, but we thought it was going to be almost entirely about Joe Alwyn. To me, it's sounding like Maddie got more songs. And if not more, then certainly equal. And so, yes, that's been a shock.
Okay, I'm shocked right now because I literally thought Maddie Healy was Joe Alwyn. So
I love how unplugged you are. You are having real-time revelations, and I love it.
I love this for me. I love that when we started this podcast, I was like, I don't know anything. And you were like, perfect. Like, I would feel so bad if I came into this as a pop culture expert, but there's someone just showing up. I'm like, this is great. I love everything about this. I love my job on this show.
But yes, so Maddie Healy, controversial. He said a number of racist remarks about Ice Spice and just like mocking other races and other accents. This was on a podcast, and also revealed that he was caught masturbating to a porn site called Ghetto Gaggers, which is, I mean, even talking about it makes me feel gross. It's a site known for the like brutalization and degradation of Black women. Like that's the whole thing. It's just like really brutal, degrading, awful sex acts with Black women. And with is a strong word. It's more like against, to, on. Like it's,
Oh my God.
yeah. I read a description. Of course, I didn't go watch anything on that site. I read a description that someone else had read or someone else had written on Reddit of a video they saw. And that was too much for me. Like terrible, terrible.
Oh my
and that's what
God.
he just willingly said. No one forced him to say this. He just willingly said this on a podcast that this is what he was masturbating to. And so these are the things we heard him say, like in public, while knowing that he was being recorded. So who knows what he's doing in his private life. So it's been rough, a little rough for me to come to an understanding that it seems like he was really in Taylor's life, at least in her life enough for her to be out here writing all these songs. So that's been an interesting revelation.
Wow. So which songs are, because they weren't together they were together like a long time ago, right? And then they were together again more recently after Joe, but like it wasn't a ton of time. But that I'm not to say that the amount of time speaks to how much of an impact someone can have. Someone can fuck you up in a very short amount of time.
Sure, absolutely. And, I'm still coming to terms with how I feel about all of this because I feel a lot of things. One of the things that I feel is like, I think most of us can relate to having at some point dated someone who turned out to be different than what we thought they were or who we thought they were.
Yep.
Now, I cannot say I've ever dated someone and then found out that they were violently racist, but have I dated someone and found out that they were, really narcissistic or disrespectful or, a gaslighter and all of that? Yes. So I'm in a place where I'm working on giving the benefit of the doubt, but I will say I'm not all the way there yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'm going to have to like Google a little bit after this episode. So everything I say here, asterisk.
Everything I say.
Blanket statement about this episode. Can't hold to any of it.
And then the other, I would say, large piece of discourse around this album is just the quality and the caliber of it. I think for some people there has been a bit of a disconnect between the quality and caliber that we are used to for Taylor and what was delivered here if you look at these 31 tracks in totality. And for my part, I will say I feel like, and I think a lot of Swifties have sort of come to this conclusion. First of all, I think there are a number of extremely good songs on this album. But I will also say this album feels a bit like a choose your own adventure sort of album where she threw in everything and the kitchen sink. And so it feels like there's kind of a lack of editing here. And I think that's hitting people in different ways. For some people, it feels like I'm okay with that because I'll put together my playlist. Like I'll choose the ones I want to keep and I'm going to keep it moving. Some people feel like, girl, that's your job. Like I have a job. My job should not be to be your music editor. Okay. Like that's your job. And also that's what it means to put together an album is to, cull and edit and everything else. I think there are some people who just feel like this feels so different from anything we've seen from Taylor. It feels like almost stream of consciousness, almost, journal entries. So there's just been a lot of discourse around that. And frankly, I'm fine with the discourse. I'm kind of fine with anyone landing in any camp. Like I'm fine with people having differing opinions on music. I've seen a lot of Swifties who are not fine with people having who are not fine.
There's one correct opinion. Yeah.
Yes. And I want to be very clear. I'm not that Swiftie. I'm not the Swiftie who's going to be like, oh, no, you cannot feel that way or say, no. We're all grown. We can all come to our own conclusion. But that's just some of the discourse around the album.
And you know what? I will say, I watched a couple of your TikToks, which is where I get my news. Mm-hmm. And when you were talking about some people, like it is like a book of poems and like some poems are your poems and some poems aren't your poems. That resonated with me. It struck me as just raw. Again, I haven't heard the whole album, but it felt raw. And I kind of like that someone who is generally very polished, like sharing something that's like, it's raw, take what you want, like something different. Yeah. It is interesting. I do hope she does interviews and explains her thinking. Cause like, we can have all of our opinions about it, but and guess at what her intentions were. I'm sort of curious if she'll share some of those intentions at all or not.
Yeah. We'll see. But anyway, enough of the chit chat. Should we get to our favorite songs?
Yes, we should.
Okay.
Let's go.
I'm going to kick off first. These are not ranked. This is not me going from 5 to 1. But the song I want to start with is I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Isn't it so fun? Isn't that just such a fun? I mean, the lyrics are very sad and depressing, but it's so upbeat. I love it.
It's so good. I'm so depressed and it's like it's my birthday.
Every day.
That's iconic. Bitch, smile. That's all. I feel like I won't, but I feel like I want to have that printed on something. Like just 100%. Bitch, smile.
Lights, camera, bitch, smile. I need that everywhere. I need that everywhere. And it's so like, the thing is like, it's not just upbeat. It's like upbeat and perky and like just never stopping the, like it just is. I just feel like I'm alive when I listen to that song.
Oh my God. So good. And I love, like, I can imagine her going on tour after the breakups and feeling all of that. And I will say, I know that just really resonates for me. The fact that some of my worst days are the days that I ended up having to do something really big in public. And it's just wild. And I've talked to other people that this happens a lot, that there's this weird dichotomy where like the worst shit is happening in your life while like the best public shit is happening in your life.
When it came on in the car today while I was driving to pick up my daughter, I just was having the time of my life. I mean, only Taylor would put what is truly a devastating song and set of lyrics to such a fun beat and like musical production. It's like I just envision her singing it on stage, which feels very meta, right? Because she's singing about how sad it is to be on stage performing when you are sad. And then we're all in the audience like, bitch, smile, like just.
When she's like, and they just want more, and we're all like, more.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping this finds its way to the set list. But yeah, I also just appreciate it for being one of the upbeat moments on the album. I don't feel like we get that many of them. So, but it's also just, I mean, it's great. It's fantastic.
Cosign. I love this. KJ, I'm going to ask you a really important question right now. Don't feel pressure to say yes, but we are on our podcast and there are people listening. So no pressure. Will you go to a Taylor Swift concert with me? I've never been to one live.
I've never been to one either. Of course I would. Of course I would. I've got a ticket for one in November in Indiana, but for sure, let's say you and I will at some point go see Taylor Swift live. 100%.
Okay. Should I buy a ticket to the concert in Indiana?
Well, you could, but I don't know that we'd be sitting anywhere near each other.
It's fair. It's fair. Okay.
But yes.
Legit. Yay, something to look forward to. Okay, onward.
Onward. All right, so you're up for your top 3.
Oh.
What are you going with first?
Okay, I'm going to start with Down Bad. This just resonated with me from a particular moment in my life. And it was so funny because as soon as she said crying at the gym, I was like, I remember one time I had to leave. I had come to the gym for a personal training session. I think it was like me and another person, like we were sharing a personal trainer, and I was like, yo, I'm too sad. I have to live. I couldn't stop crying. I was like, I gotta go. And so I've never heard a song kind of talk about that where you're hurting so much that you can't even do your basic shit. I mean, there are many love songs about that, of course, but I'd never heard. I was like, Taylor, stop following me. Inappropriate. You got other places to be. Don't do that.
See, you are picking up on something that I think Taylor is so good at, which is lyric specificity. I think she leaves lyrics in like this that other people would be inclined to edit out because they feel so specific. Like, yeah, I cried at the gym that one time I broke up, but how many people are out here crying at the gym? When in fact, probably a lot of people are out here crying at the gym, it's so specific, but that actually probably has happened to a number of people. And even if it hasn't happened to you, I don't currently have a memory of crying at the gym, but I definitely have a memory of crying at random and unexpected places, so then it still feels super relatable. This is something I think she's so good at.
It's true. It's true. And it was just, I picked it. And it's funny because the first time I heard the song, I actually didn't hear the lyrics right. I thought the beginning was about getting beat up in sparkle dust. And I was like, oh, beat up is a metaphor. I didn't hear beam up. But now when I heard that and I'm like, oh, it's like an alien picking you up and taking you to this whole new place. I was like, it just resonates even more. I totally get that. It's I like this song a lot. And it sounds like, I can't think of which song, but it sounds like another one of her songs from a previous album too. Not too much like it, but I was like, oh, it feels like an extension, an ongoing of that. So I like that. I also just like that she says, fuck it if I can't have him. Did she always say fuck in songs, or is that new to this album?
It's not new to this album. I personally, from what I can recall, feel like we didn't get F-bombs until, I want to say, Folklore. And that was album number 7, number 7 or 8. So yeah, it wasn't, no, she did not always say fuck it, but this is not the first album where we've gotten.
But I feel, and I might be wrong, because again, I don't know her discography, but it feels, I can't think of a song where it's part of the chorus, where it's every time. I'm like, ooh, she going through it.
Yeah. No, I like this song so much. To your point about the alien sort of metaphor, I like that Yeah, we get the alien metaphor in the first verse, and also the sound. It sounds the way you kind of think the sound you would hear if a UFO beamed down, bam, bam, beep, beep, bam, 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 beep, 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 like that, like, and the sparkling kind of sound. I can't do it with my throat, but you get it. You in the beginning, to me, it's giving, what's the word, ethereal, it's giving cosmic stardust, it's giving that, the production. So I love that. And then what I think works here, and what I was nervous wouldn't work here, is the phrase "down bad," because that's a phrase that is very much, it's become very trendy to say in the last, like, call it year or two. And whenever people, I think this is actually a TV writer thing too. Like, if you see in a script someone using like a word or a turn of phrase that has become too trendy, I've heard that that's kind of like a thing you don't do in TV writing, right? And I kind of feel the same about songwriting. Like, when I see someone using a phrase in a song that's become super trendy, I'm a little cringe, because I'm like, that's not going to age well. But I feel like it's down bad, yes, the way we all use it, like, oh, she's down bad for this man, but also kind of down bad because she's been dropped from this from this spaceship in the sky. So it feels like there's kind of this double meaning, and I don't know. For me, it works. When I was nervous, it wouldn't work.
I hear what you're saying. It feels like she put more meaning behind it so that it might live beyond the trend.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I love that. Oh, yay! It not that we have to have the same opinion, but it like affirms when someone who knows more about music is like, yeah, that's good. It's like, oh, good. Yeah. Good.
Okay, so I'm going to give my 2 and 3. My number 2 and 3 are the track 5 on both the first album and the second album. Now, do you know about track 5 lore for Taylor?
No.
Okay. All right. So track 5 lore basically states, and I'm sure say this wrong, but essentially this is where Taylor puts her most personal songs, the songs where she feels like she really went in from a songwriting perspective and just gave us like kind of her rawest, like deepest, just like most personal writing. That tends to be her track 5 song. And I think the track 5 song on both part 1 and part 2 are phenomenal. So on part 1, we get So Long London. And in part 2, you like that one, right? So Long London.
I do like.
And then in part 2, we get a song called How Did It End? And both of these songs are breakup songs, but I feel like we get more than your typical breakup song, particularly when you look at the two of them together. Now, I'm choosing to believe both of these songs are about Joe Alwyn, and I really do not care to hear if anybody else disagrees, okay? Let me live where I'm living, okay? Because for me, the reason these songs work for me is because it feels like they're coming from a place of just really deep longing, heartache that has taken time to develop. And so that's sort of where I am when I'm listening. So let's start with So Long London, because that's the first track 5 that we hear. Oh, that song is so good. And there's so many lyrics that I love. I think probably my favorite is, how much sad did you think I had in me? That gets me every time, because it feels relatable. This idea that like someone thinking you can just take more than you can. Like someone, like I feel like I'm dealing with that right now, actually, personally, not with my husband, thank God. Wouldn't that be so terrible if I just was on this podcast and was like saying something gut-wrenchingly heartbreaking about my husband? No, I'm not referring to him, but I am referring to a friendship that has, for all intents and purposes, ended. And this lyric really resonates because it feels like this person thinks I just have an unlimited amount of sad I can take, and I don't. Everyone has a breaking point. And so that lyric really hits for me. But the whole song is, I mean, I think devastatingly beautiful.
I agree with that. I know we were talking a second before the call about you sacrificed us to your bluest days. That lyric hit me. Yeah, I just felt that where it's like, yeah. And then two graves. I can't sing. I'll stop. Two graves, one gun. I was just saying that over and over again. I was like, "Whoo, we got to be careful about who listens to this song." But God, it's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I when I hear that line, I mean, I don't know what it means when you hear the two graves, one gun. I think murder suicide.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah, that's
yeah.
yeah. No,
Okay.
that was my takeaway.
Yeah. And it's like yeah, you took us both out, like with this terrifyingly sad thing that you did, it just yeah, that one is, and I love the driving beat of it underneath it because I think it takes it from being just sad to being both sad and angry in my mind, kind of that like aggressive thudding beat happening the whole time. I think it's brilliant, and I love that it's a track five. There are some people who feel like another song should have ended up in track five, but I'm like, no, I see it, Taylor. I see it.
I
I
see
see
it.
it.
And I love the opening too. Her voice sounds like bells almost. Like I don't know how to describe it, but like it evokes London for me, really. I thought that was brilliant at the beginning, just as an entry point. It's really
A
strong.
hundred. I love that you said that because I agree. First of all, yes, it's like bells, angelic sort of choir, and then also I feel like there are a couple of different lyrics she says that evoke London for me, like talking about the fairy lights and the mist. That very much feels London to me. And there's a lyric later on in the song where she says something to the effect of a moment in your sun. And that also felt very London to me because, the sun be coming out for like 20 minutes in London at a time. So she's not talking about specific places within London or bringing it up in the verses, but the things she's saying and like you said, the way she's singing kind of evokes London, which again feels so smart. So yeah, love that
It's so
song.
good. I think she uses the word heath in the song.
She does. She does use the
And
word
I
heat.
was like, there we go. There we go. I see you.
And then just real quickly, I mean, it's tough to talk about this next one quickly, but the song that's track five on part two is called How Did It End?
We'll tell no one except all of our friends. Such truth. This is how
Such truth. Such truth. Such truth. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is why y'all are not going to get me to hate this woman. She is out here putting the truth into these songs. And the reason I love this song as a breakup song for Taylor is I feel like it's giving us not just the perspective of here's what it feels like to be in this breakup. This song is giving us the perspective of here's what it feels like to have to deal with all of your goofy asses while I'm going through this breakup. Because all you want to know is the tea. All you want to know is how did it end? You want to be up in my face and pretend to be empathetic and everything else so that you can go and run and tell everybody else. And that's while I'm going through this breakup. Like, I like that. I like give me a different perspective. So that and then also, of course, it's beautiful. But I like that she's giving me a different perspective.
Ooh, I hadn't even thought of it like that, but that makes sense. So when what is the lyric around being empathetic?
Come one, come all, it's happening again. The empathetic hunger descends. We'll tell no one except all of our friends. We must know how did it end. So it's the empathetic hunger descends.
I see. So it's the people outside of the relationship who have the empathetic hunger. I was like misunderstood. That makes so much more sense than the story I was creating. I like this one.
Well, Taylor lets us all choose the adventure that we want and the journey that we want to take. But that's certainly how I interpreted it. Like this idea that there are going to be all these people when it does end who come around and say that they care about you, they care about your feelings, but ultimately They just want to know the gossip because they want to be able to talk about it, you know?
Damn.
Or
Damn.
even the people who aren't necessarily there just because they want the gossip, still from her perspective, she's still hearing the same question, how did it end? Right? Whether your heart's in the right place or it's not, I'm still here again. It's happening again. And I'm back in the place where I have to explain myself yet again how this relationship came to an end. So it's just I, masterful.
Masterful. Yeah. Yeah, she's killing it. It's giving. I remember in our Britney Spears conversation, we were talking about the song Lucky. And like, she's so lucky she's a star, but she cries in her lonely heart. But I don't think Britney wrote her songs. Those were written for her. I think Taylor's perspective on stardom and how it's affecting her life and what she shares and what she doesn't. I don't know. It goes deep and it really resonates and it feels so real. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. Okay, ma'am. It is time for your number 2 choice.
Okay. So my number 2 is Who's Afraid of Little Old Me?
Oh, girl. I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that because this one is a banger. Is a banger.
I love when she says levitating down your street. I just live for that. What? Yes.
Right? Yes. She is a witch, honey. To me, when I heard this song, I was like, oh, she's a witch. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love it. I live for it. I'm here for it. And then there's a lyric that comes a little later. This is what I wrote down. I was tame. I was gentle till the circus life made me mean. I mean, it just keeps coming up. This sort of public life, this performing, this constantly performing. Yeah. I just thought it was fantastic. I really like the song. And that was only the second time I'd ever heard it, KJ, was when you played it right now. Like that first time hit.
Oh, I completely agree. The first time I heard it, especially because she goes for it on the chorus and gives us the full belt with "Who's afraid of little old me?" Except she's an octave up and really going for it. Love that. And yes, first verse, I was like, oh, she's a witch, she's a witch, she's a witch. Second verse, I was like, oh, wait, she's a lion because she's got her teeth and she's in the circus. So now there were some people complaining that Taylor was out here mixing metaphors. Girl, you can mix a metaphor, okay? That's fine by me. I like it. Okay, because I think this song slaps.
I agree. And I just took it as her being a monster. You know what I mean? Like there are lots of things at the carnival. I don't have to know the specific. Oh yeah. When she talked about don't worry, we took out her teeth. I was like, damn. Damn.
It's satisfying from a storytelling perspective. It's so satisfying vocally. I love when we get big and then small, the "who's afraid a little," and then "you should be." Ooh, that makes it scarier. If somebody whispers "you should be," oh bitch, you really should be.
Correct.
You really should be. Okay, for my number 4, I gotta do it. But Daddy, I Love Him. I love that song. And it honestly broke my heart when people started saying it was about Maddie Healy because, like I said, I don't want to think about that man. But to the extent that I'm putting that to the side, this song is a banger. It goes so hard. So yeah, I mean, quite simply,
this is not about Maddie Healy. I'm not even concerned about it. Like,
you don't think so?
No, at all. One, because he's not
Why
the one, obviously, or they would be together.
You would think, obviously, he's not the one, but she apparently felt for this time period they were together that he was the one.
No, there's stuff at the end. I mean, I'm not saying like part of the song couldn't come from many experiences she's had, including Maddie Healy. But like, there's that whole bit about now my dad's cool with him. Y'all aren't invited to the wedding. There ain't no wedding with Maddie Healy. What are you talking about? And
yes,
even
I
the
agree.
saboteurs and stuff she's talking mostly, at least it sounds like, at least I get the impression that it's a lot of like sanctimonious, like religious people, which I don't think that's who was objecting to her with Maddie Healy. Like, it just doesn't. I don't think the song is about Matt. There are too many things that aren't it. I'm not saying it wasn't like partially inspired by the experience of being with someone that other people don't approve of. Like, sure, but this song is not. There are just too many things that don't line up at all, honestly.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that because I will say when I first heard the song, obviously I didn't think of him. And to me, it felt more like a storytelling device anyway. It felt less like I'm writing this song about a specific person and much more of I am writing this song about this feeling like every time I'm with anyone, regardless of who it is, everybody has this, that, and the third to say. And so y'all can keep it to yourselves. That is sort of where I felt like she was coming from. And it was the internet who told me that it was about Maddie Healy. So you know what? I'm going to just try to believe that it is more of a storytelling device. And maybe there is a bit of him wrapped up in it, but it's like broader than that because it's a banger. I love this song. I don't want to not have to listen to it. And I love when she gets angry at the end. I love when she says, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'd rather burn my whole life down than listen to one more second of you bitching and moaning. Okay, see, I love that. I love that. And
look how she didn't pick that in her real life. Like, this is not about Maddie Healy. I don't think so. It reminds me of Love Story. Like, it's the same kind of, like, it's a love story, baby, just say yes. In that one, her dad also didn't want her to be with the guy, and, like, the town was keeping them apart. It feels like the more adult, empowered version of Love Story, honestly. Like, Love Story was the one where she's just waiting in a tower for the guy to show up and be her prince. And in this one, she's, like, choosing him and saying fuck you to everyone else. So it feels just more like a grown woman dealing with other people's opinions. It does not strike me as... Yeah, I think it's a storytelling device and fits in her canon and her personal arc well.
Okay. I love that. Thank you for bringing this back for me. Do you see why I needed to talk to a person and not a phone?
I do more than Siri. My lift is heavier.
Okay, it's time for you to give us your third and final.
Okay, my third and final actually is my fave so far. I will say it. It's Fortnight.
This is a shocker for me because Fortnight is a sleepy song to me. So I'm actually really happy that you love it because you can help me love it.
Yeah, I dug it. But for me, the lyrics were giving. Like the
what are they giving?
You. I love you and it's ruining my life.
Oh, okay. Okay, so mainly that part?
That part. I think that's great. And let's see, I was supposed to be sent away, but they forgot to come and get me. I love in an album that's so much about how seen she is and how public she is. I'm really enjoying this one about how she's forgotten and how people don't care and how she's just kind of spinning off in her own little world based on this relationship that only lasted 2 weeks. A fortnight is 2 weeks. So it's like, I haven't touched you except for that fortnight. And I'm still my husband's cheating on me. Your wife is watering the flowers. I don't know. Is it the strongest? I don't know. Because I listened to it first and I was like, oh, I like it. And then I kept listening to things. But I will say, I just liked the energy behind it. I like the asylumness of it. I like something that just feels a little bit different. And frankly, in my new introduction to Post Malone, I really enjoyed another Post Malone collab.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the word I keep using for this song is vibe, and that is, to me, what it is. It feels more like a vibe than a song. Like, I still don't, I've listened now, that was probably my fourth or fifth time listening. I still don't really know what it's about. I don't really, like, this is a love that she lost, and loving this person is ruining her life and her husband and his wife. And I don't know. By the end of it, I'm just like, girl, what?
What? I get it. It's the thing where you have this special moment together and then you're like, let's just be fine. Well, it didn't work. Let's be friends. But you're like, but we're not friends. I'm still in love with you. And we're just going on with life as if that was like a little aberration. But it's not. I'm still stuck on you, and it's ruining my life.
Okay. Okay.
It's her not living her life to the fullest, but it's definitely a different. I like what you said about it being a vibe. It's definitely a vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe, and it's not like when I hear it, I'm like, da, 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 ba, da, da. It's nice enough, but I just don't see it penetrating into my top 5, top 10, top 12, top 20. To be honest, I just don't see it. And I will say I was hoping for more Post Malone. I felt like he was like barely in that song.
I still don't know what Post Malone sounds like. I don't know what he looks like. I could not spot him on the street, but I will say the songs I have heard him be on, like the Beyonce song he's on and the song, I'm like, oh, I do like those songs. So whatever he's doing, for me, it's working.
Well, we come to the final song. And I have a few options to choose from. But ultimately, I think I've got to go with loml.
I haven't heard it yet. What does it stand for? Is it laugh out motherfucking loud? That's what I made up.
The fact that you haven't heard this song yet and don't know what it stands for yet makes me want to play the whole song for you.
I was like, why does she say we have to go to the end of the song? Obviously, it's love of my life. Damn. It's the loss of my life. That is very good. Get love quick scheme. Can't get out of bed over something counterfeit. This was fantastic.
Is it? I can't. I still have yet to make it through without crying. It is unbelievable, that song. I think that song is unbelievable. I can't even fathom writing it. I don't know. I can't fathom writing it. Just the unbearable pain and the relentlessness of the pain and of the lyrics. That line you just mentioned, hold on, I want to read it because that one, I remember hearing it and it taking me out. Dancing phantoms on the terrace, are they secondhand embarrassed that I can't get out of bed because something counterfeit's dead? What? Like, who writes like this? Who writes like this? This is what I'm saying. Like, the number of times Taylor will just write something that makes me think, how did she come up with this? Are the dancing phantoms the ghosts of what we once had? Are they secondhand embarrassed that I'm out here laid up, can't get out of bed because something fake has died? And it was fake because it was some bullshit.
That was good. Yeah.
She's too good at this, folks.
Genius.
She's too good at it.
Damn. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
It's so good.
And I love that when she keeps saying I'm the love, you kept saying I'm the love of your life, and we're like, oh, LMO, love of my life, and it's like the loss of my life.
Just to leave that until the end, like, it's already devastating. I'm already crying. I already am like, can't get any sadder than this. And then for the last line to be, you're the loss of my life. Taylor, girl, my God. What did you want from us? Did you want us to be on the floor, laid up? Because that's where we are. That's where we all collectively are.
It's where we are. It's where I am now. I had never heard this song before. You just laid me up.
Yep.
Listen. Wow.
Yep. What a way
great.
to end a podcast. Hope everyone's super sad. Bye. Bye. Bye.
This is the happiest sad I've ever been. Okay, that's it for this week, everyone. Be sure to follow us on TikTok at Two Queens, Two Crowns. I actually look at it now. And to check out the podcast on YouTube, Two Queens, Two Crowns.
Adrienne and I would also love for you to follow us on our personal socials. I'm on TikTok at @IM_KJ Miller and YouTube with the handle IamKJ Miller. And Adrienne's on IG at Adrienne Rose White and TikTok at wrong_or_. We'll see you next time.